First off, I want to thank you. I'm very proud to stand in our beautiful Victoria State Library today. This library is greater than the sum of us. It holds and cares for all voices of all people in the world without favour, without prejudice, without censorship. Let it remain so. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, stellar judges, fellow writers, friends and family and country. Firstly, I wish to acknowledge and pay my respects to the people of the Kulin Nation and their sovereign lands, and to their elders past and present. I am privileged to be a guest on your country, your unceded sovereign lands, that your people have lovingly cared for, nurtured and honoured its creation, beliefs and laws since time immemorial. I also acknowledge my own Waanyi homelands and our families and countries across the Gulf of Carpentaria and beyond. I'm so pleased that Rachel Amani Yenna, our Chief Executive Officer of the Carpentaria Land Council, and her daughter Maya are here with me and my family tonight. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Rachel. It means so much. 2023 was an extraordinary, strong year for Australian literature. Our writers sit alongside the best in the world in terms of how we are bringing literature into new, important and exciting forms of content. The level of achievement is impressive and must be applauded. I thank the stellar judges for all your hard work. I know you had such a huge task this last year, and you have my admiration. I am deeply touched that you gave your heart and mind and deep reading of all 227 entries for the Stella Award. It's just phenomenal. It was such a great honour for me that Praiseworthy was included firstly in the Stella long list and then in the short list, along with The Swift Dark Tide by Katia Ariel, Body Friend by Catherine Barron, Feast by Emily O'Grady, Hospital by Sanya, Rusty, Abandon Every Hope, Essays for the Dead by my good friend Hayley Singer from Melbourne University, who welcomed me from the very first time when I first started there. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to all shortlisted authors and your publishers. I'm truly honoured that Praiseworthy now joins the prestigious company of previous winners of the Stella Prize. I am humbled and somewhat amazed that Praiseworthy now sits alongside Tracker, and that I have been awarded this enormous honour, the work of a dreamer, for the second time. I do not write expecting to win prizes. In the Aboriginal world, we work very hard, but that often does not equate to great success or accolades. My work has flowed from a commitment I made long ago to always challenge myself as a writer, to take risks and explore the world through my imagination. My main motivation with Praiseworthy was to complete the book and rise to the challenges it presented. I have the greatest respect for the work of the Stella and its commitment to nurturing and promoting the work of women writers in this continent. It makes me feel sure that all of the authors on the long list and short list will grow in strength and endurance as the years come. Thank you to the Stella Forever Fund for your generous funding of the Stella Prize. As I was preparing this speech, I thought about the process I take to my writing. As a writer, I find myself spending a great deal of time exploring big questions such as climate change and its impact on our community and our future. I believe it is important that works of literature takes on these challenges. and develop literary forms that do it justice. So being here today is a far cry from what I normally do as a writer, locked in thoughts about a book for almost 10 years, or in how I think about the world, or even in how I work on the questions, ideas and concerns that have been strong enough to keep me on a long journey of asking how I might bring a new book together, give it a full life, portray a truer sense of our world and of ourselves, and how to create a better sense of what it means to be in a world at this time by questioning our sense of moving forward towards the future. In Praiseworthy, the character called Widespread asks, which way my humanity? What's plan A or plan B? It may be that such questions about the growing and endless challenges of our fast-changing world are too big for literature. And perhaps some will say such questions are far too big for Australian literature. I believe literature must meet the scale of what is happening in the world. We have to even foolishly believe that anything can be done in life or in literature with deep thought, and that after reworking every word, line and page many times, you might find that you can pull a big manuscript together. It can resonate with the very full spectrum of what it means to be human in the hot load of the 21st century. You may find that you can make the work hold together over hundreds of pages, have made it stand up and know it will not fall over, and finally feel in your bones that you have made a good attempt to grab the scale, or at least have wrestled with a big chunk you've broken off from the colossal narratives of the ever-changing, unprecedented scope of what is happening in the world right now in our times. I was inspired to write Praiseworthy after asking some hard questions about climate change and the concerns I have about the survival of our ancient culture. I was concerned to explore what unabated global warming will mean for an increasing number of poor people in the world, what it will mean for many Aboriginal people who are already living through unprecedented times on a daily basis, as they have done for well over 2 centuries without much relief nor respect for their sovereign rights. How do we survive an uncertain future? In Praiseworthy, I looked at the reality of our circumstances and what it would mean to face the challenge of living on a burning planet and carrying our culture and ancient wisdom into the future. I wanted to capture the spirit of the times at home and across the world for a work of literature that was not just about ourselves, but that was also capable of capturing the beauty and joy of all things, the big and the small. I started work on Praiseworthy at the same time I started work on Tracker. When I was in Darwin to begin research with Tracker, I started Praiseworthy by visiting the Darwin Museum to study a display of local butterflies. I kept studying butterflies and moths, beetles and donkeys, and much more, which would become a part of Praiseworthy. I intended Praiseworthy to be a big book, in more ways than one. I hope the scale of the book is right for the times we live in. My writing journey did not come from nowhere. I think of my grandmother, a woman of great wisdom, independence, and self-reliance, who from my early childhood had guided my understanding about being in a world full of wonder and imagination. My mother was an exceptionally strong person, and she taught me what sheer determination and independence looked like, and what it would take to live in the world that I was growing into, and how to be prepared to meet some of the harsh realities of our life. I had the enormous privilege throughout my working career to work with many of our great and finest elders of cultural knowledge and wisdom, and to work with many brilliant Aboriginal political leaders. They all gave their time generously and gave me important guidance and opportunity to help me take my share of responsibility in our world. As a writer, I have received great guidance through many brilliant colleagues, like my good friend and author Nicholas Ajose, who is here tonight, as he's been right from the start. I studied at RMIT University and then became a continuous member of the World-Class Writing and Society Research Centre established by Western Sydney University in 2008. I was again strongly supported by the University of Melbourne in my work as the Bobovia Chair in Australian Literature from 2018 to 2022. I'm indebted to these universities for helping me become the writer I am today. I'm eternally grateful that my writing career has been guided by my publisher, Giramondo Publishing, for almost 2 decades. I'm indebted to the literary vision of Ivor Indig. He is a genius and literary hero. His knowledge of literature, readership, and publishing is unparalleled. Ivor is recognised and highly respected across the world for his achievements as a publisher. In fact, I believe Ivor is the best publisher in the world. His total dedication, care, and valuing of Praiseworthy right through the publishing process was extraordinary and exemplary. Thank you, Ivor, Ev, Jenny Grigg, for the magic cover of the swarming yellow butterflies in flight, and I thank all the hard-working team at Giramondo. What gives me great comfort and joy are my children and our far-reaching families. I thank my daughter Lily for her company on the long journey of writing Praiseworthy, for listening to some of the lines as they were being written, and always giving 100% positive feedback. It counts. And for enjoying the music. Finally, I could not do what I do without the love and support of a very patient and generous husband. I thank my wonderful husband, Tolly, who is here and sharing this incredible occasion. Thank you, Stella. You're amazing, and you know what? You make me feel glad all over. Enjoy Praiseworthy. Please tell everybody to read it. It's yours. Thank you.